Welcome to Fist's mid-game build, you fisting bastards. This one is all about that sweet key damage, leaving most enemies without key in a matter of seconds. It is quite OP, even if we aren't doing insane damage, because enemies are unable to retaliate properly for most part. Also would like to thank people on stream helping with this build, offering quite good bits of advice to make this one so effective. Let's explain what mid-game means in Nioh 2, at least from my perspective. It is second and third difficulty, so Dream of the Strong and Dream of the Demon. On Dream of the Demon, grace sets start to fall, and by the end of Dream of the Strong you will have obtained Yasakani Magatama, crucial piece for all of the builds until endgame. Grace sets are painful to farm at this stage, so I'm going to try to avoid using them as much as possible for these mid-game builds, but some ones might use them in the end. Let's start with attributes. Main one is Heart. Why? Well, it is far more useful than Strength, since it increases maximum ki. So remodel Fists to scale off of Heart. Two other important attributes are Constitution and Courage, so put a lot of points into those as well. Dexterity and Magic at 30 to get maximum slots and some additional ninjutsu and omnio power. Enough points into stamina to get agility A, and that is about it. From here on out, level Heart, Constitution and Courage. Secondary weapon is Axe, that is part of Obsidian set. This unlocks increase in rage duration of 30%. Main weapon should be Purity Imbued Fist. Purity increases key damage enemies take by 50%, which is awesome for this build. Special effects should revolve around active skill key consumption reduction, grapple damage, final blow damage and active skill key damage. If you can, get battering ram key damage as well. One ranged weapon should be Seer Bow, part of Vanquisher set. Combined with another piece from this set unlocks key recovery speed of 10%. Main set is Samurai Noble. Main reason is increased melee key damage. Finishing Flare bonus is also a nice addition that increases melee damage when striking wounded enemy. It also increases grapple and finishing blow damage. This is useful for this build in particular because all three damage increases from finishing Flare are going to be utilized a lot, since enemies will be always out of key, susceptible to grapple, finishing blow and melee attacks. Main special effect to get on all armor pieces is active skill damage. I don't bother with inheritables in this game because they're pain in the arse to farm and to inherit to other pieces, but you can always try to go for attack on each armor piece. Get also untouched Omnio Magic on chest and gauntlets. Accessories are Yasakani Magatama and Hazy Flute, that is part of Samurai Noble set. Main special effects to have are Poison Accumulation and melee damage versus poisoned enemy. Untouched Omnio Magic is also good. Besides that, go for whatever you wish. Scrolls that have active skill key consumption, active skill damage and similar effects are good choice. I recommend these jutsus with the build. Poison Shuriken or Poison Groundfire, whichever one you prefer. Any familiar talisman, which one depends on the situation. Weakness is optional, but it stacks with confusion, so not a bad one to have. Could also substitute it for Sloth. Rest are classics like Steel, Element Stop Talisman, Barrier, Protection and Quick Change. Guardian Spirit is Yumehami mainly because of melee key damage increase. Cores we want are White Tiger due to nice purity bonuses, Ippon because it destroys enemy's ki, and Namahage due to melee damage versus 0 ki. Secondary Guardian Spirit I almost always prefer is Inosasao to get that sweet mid-attack damage reduction. From Fists we use reduced ki consumption Mystic Art, a Reckless Charge with Dreadslayer upgrade, Battering Ram which destroys enemy ki, and Kick Cycle. On X, make sure to have Battle Focus and Rage across 2 stances. I mainly use Fists in mid stance due to defensive effectiveness, so this is where skill boosts are slotted. Damage boost on Kick Cycle and Reckless Charge. Masterful Slice on Battering Ram. If you are experienced player, a limitless skill can be quite useful against yokai enemies because they stay down longer upon ki depletion, so there is enough time to switch to high stance and load up limitless. Clan is Takenaka since both effects work great for us. So how to play this one? Before the fight use Quick Change, Protection, Steel, Elemental Stop Talisman. Then come Battle Focus and Rage buffs from X. Now we enter the fight and use Weakness, Poison and Familiar Talisman. One note here, if you are playing only against a single boss, then use Omnio Mystic Art that speeds up magic use. If you are doing missions where you have multiple bosses coming in waves, then go for Omnio Mystic Art that increases duration. Only thing that remains is to start using 3 active skills mentioned earlier. Reckless Charge, Battering Ram and Kick Cycle. Remember that Battering Ram is one of the most effective skills in the game for destroying ki. Reckless Charge on the other hand is great for covering distance and getting up to enemy's face quickly. It also reduces damage taken while you are doing the charge. With Familiar Spell active and constant onslaught with Fists, Confusion debuff is guaranteed. Just make sure to reapply Familiar Spell often. Humans are tougher to afflict with Purity, so it might be better idea to hold off on using Familiar Spell until Purity debuff has been applied or is at least close to being applied. Do not forget about Ippon, because you need to use it whenever possible to do even more ki damage. That is all really for this one, enjoy!
くなってきよった。